The chair recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Meuser, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the Biden administration learned Iran was just weeks away from enriching enough uranium for a weapon, this administration's response was to rush to a deal to slow but not stop Iran's nuclear ambitions. This is so. The fact is, no deal will include concrete guarantees that Iran will not develop nuclear weapons, Mr. Speaker. Yet in pursuit of a deal, the Biden administration is offering concessions that will enrich our adversaries, endanger our allies, and cost America dearly. The whole New Deal now hinges on delisting the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, yes, that terrorist organization, even as the IRGC supported attacks against U.S. troops recently in the UAE. Mr. Speaker, sanctions relief will give Iran access to over $100 billion in frozen assets. That's over $100 billion in frozen assets to the center of terrorism in the world. Nuclear trade, in addition, with Russia and China, will only strengthen this unholy alliance. What can our allies expect from an Iran enriched from energy sales and free from sanctions? Even worse, President Biden is seeking to buy oil from Iran instead of ramping up U.S. production. This disastrous decision, irrational decision, will fill their coffers even more. We've wrecked our U.S. national and economic security, Mr. Speaker, by forfeiting our energy over the last 15 months and our independence. We are now subject to the fluctuations from the randomness of the geopolitical events rather than relying upon American workers and American energy. We've cost our nation thousands of jobs and empowered our enemies. We are seeing this firsthand with the leverage we have ceded to Russia because this administration seeks to decimate U.S. energy production. The Department of Energy is taking trips and seeking oil purchases from Venezuela. Mr. Speaker, I have not seen Department of Energy representatives in Pennsylvania to see how the great reserves in the Marcellus Shale can support our country's energy needs. Is the Biden administration choosing Venezuela over Pennsylvania? Are they choosing Tehran over Texas? Or as my good friend, Representative August Pfluger, branded not too long ago, are they choosing Moscow over Midland? This is the product of a disastrous domestic policy, weakening our hand in diplomacy, and the Biden administration is rushing to negotiate from a position of weakness. It's why our allies are urging us to walk away and keep sanctions in place on Iran. This deal was misguided 7 years ago. It's downright dangerous today. We need Democrats and Republicans in this House to stand up for America and against this erroneous, misguided, senseless Iran nuke deal. I yield back.